are hitting a plateau. And I'm gonna talk about how we can break through the Hi. My gym routine. Lastly, the last thing lazy. Still getting used to the fact that like I don't have hair anymore. I like it. I feel like I look more like professional and I probably look my age now. But you know, I don't know, what do you guys think? Do you like it? It's so short in the back too. It's like a long bob, a lob as they call it. Welcome to today's video. After coaching people for so long, I'm constantly being inspired by things that my clients tell me in regards to their weight loss, and trying to work together with the people that I coach so that I understand what your guys' struggles are, and then I can take what I've learned and the knowledge that I have and apply it to you to help you in any way that you need. One of the most requested, most talked about things, whether you've been working with me for a while or watching my videos, I see people say like, how do I get through a plateau? I've hit a weight loss plateau. What do? I feel like my weight's not moving. I've been eating the same macros. I've even lowered my macros. There are so many different things that happen when you guys are talking about plateaus, and I really want to dive into that a little bit deeper today and talk a little bit about what a plateau is, why it happens, how you can break through it, and kind of how to decipher whether or not you really are hitting a plateau or if there's something that you could change up first before you just chalk it up as being a plateau and being like, oh, I'm done, I can't lose any more weight. So first and foremost, it's important that you guys know that our bodies like homeostasis. And what that means is that our bodies like to remain the same. So whatever you feed it, your body tries to adapt to it and to maintain its weight. That's why we have deficits. That's why we have surpluses, in order to change that, and we can lose weight or gain weight, or isometric eating as much as we're burning, and that just, you know, keeps us at the same weight, give or take. With that being said, I also want to point out that losing weight, even gaining muscle, whatever goal that you have, is not a downward trend from day 1 to day 90 or whatever. When you lose weight, you are going to go like this the entire time. And while the overall trend is going to be more downward, you're not going to step on the scale on day 1 and then every single day from here on out, you are going to lose weight. That is not what is going to happen. First thing you gotta do is just accept that. I've talked about this in previous videos about why it's important to weigh yourself every day. And again, this is just if you're mentally okay with it, because your body fluctuates. It's totally 100% normal for you to get up in the morning and weigh 3 pounds lighter than you did the night before. If you had sushi that night and then you weighed yourself the next day, also totally normal to be up 4 or 5 pounds strictly to sodium bloat. In this portion, I'm just kind of gonna be referring to weight loss, because when you gain muscle, there's a few things that are different. But when you lose muscle, the body tries to preserve itself by slowing your metabolism. So that's why, and I've talked about reverse diets plenty of times before, but if we're just talking about losing weight, it's important not to do it too drastically, because your body's gonna try to preserve itself. And if you cut too much too soon, you're pretty much gonna have nowhere to go with your calories. And this is why people who start off a cut on like 1,400 calories, then all of a sudden before they know it, they're eating like 1,000 calories a day, they're starving, they're not losing weight, and it just starts this whole cycle. So, well, number one, it is important to know what your TDEE is, which is your total daily energy expenditure. It's also important to know that you don't want to start off in too large of a deficit, because like I said, your body tries to preserve itself by slowing your metabolism. That's why the leaner that you get and the more weight that you lose, it's always harder to lose that last bit. You know, people say like, oh, I've lost 30 pounds, but this last 10 pounds is just the hardest to get off, or the last 5 pounds is always the hardest. And that is true. The more that you lose, the harder it is to lose that last bit of weight. So knowing all of that, I want to talk about checking to see if you really are hitting a plateau. At the end of this video, I'm going to talk about the ways to break through the plateau, but before you just jump right into that and just automatically assume it's a plateau, I definitely want to give you guys some recommendations to check to see if you are actually plateauing, or if there's something that you can do first before doing the things I'm going to recommend. The first thing I always check is, are you being honest with yourself? And this is not like to be mean or anything, but I do this all the time. Like, oh, I just take a bite of this, I'm not gonna log it. Oh, I just take a bite of that, not gonna log it. Didn't really measure out my coffee creamer. Didn't really do this. So, and while that's totally fine and normal, it can also add up throughout the day, and you could be taking in a little bit more calories than you think you are, and so you could be thinking that you're eating 1650 and you're really eating 1750. So it's just kind of like taking a step back and really analyzing what you're eating. Are you being super accurate? Because if not, before you cut your calories, you could just maybe start first with being a little bit more accurate. And you'll be surprised. A lot of people end up saying like, oh no, I really didn't do that. And then we can continue to lose weight once we've dialed in the nutrition a little bit more. Second thing, this can be kind of like towards the beginning of your weight loss journey. So if you think that your total daily energy expenditure is a lot higher than it is, and you go ahead and set your calories too high. This happens a lot for people that have a desk job and then they go to a CrossFit class. It's something that I also want to point out about a CrossFit class or even a group class of a similar structure. When you get to the gym, let's say the class is at 6, you know, you spend a couple minutes like talking to whoever, you start to warm up, you warm up for like 15 minutes, then you do the strength portion, which doesn't really get your heart rate up too much, although you are doing strength training, so that's great, but it's maybe for another 15 minutes, and then you break your bar down, you set up for the workout, and then you do the actual workout for about 15 minutes, and you leave at 7. Really, the only intensity, higher, elevated heart rate training that you're getting is in that 15 minutes, and while that's all you can do, that's great, but you also have to keep that in mind. So if you're sitting at a desk from 8 to 5 and you're doing a CrossFit class from 6 to 7 and then going home and sitting down and then going to bed, your energy expenditure might be a lot lower than you think it is. You could just need to reevaluate what your total daily energy expenditure is and start from there. Another thing I see with my own clients so frequently is people not recovering properly. And this is so huge, you guys. A lot of people think that when they are starting to lose weight or they want to break through a plateau, the only way to do that is to go, go, go and train 6 days a week and wake up really early and compromise your sleep and rush to the gym and this and that. And that's all great. You have a lot of motivation. However, if you are not recovering at the intensity that you are training, you're doing yourself a disservice. Highly recommend, while, you know, God bless you if you wake up at 5 a.m. to do the CrossFit class, but if you're compromising a large portion of your sleep because of that, it's really not doing you any good. You need to make sure that you're sleeping. This helps regulate your hormones, your cortisol levels, all kinds of important things that do play a role in fat loss. So if you're compromising that, you are compromising fat loss. So another thing I tell people before they start trying to like do all crazy things and they think they've plateaued, sleep more, drink more water, stretch more, and take an extra rest day. You will be so surprised at what your body feels like. The last thing that I always ask people is, are you getting lazy with your gym routine? It is so easy to just go into the gym, do the movements, not really give it your effort like you used to in the beginning because you were super motivated to lose weight, and now weight loss is kind of slowing, so you're kind of feeling like meh, and then you're going to the gym and you're like, yeah, okay, 3 sets 10 bicep curls, yeah, okay, 3 sets 10 leg curls, whatever, I'm done. If you're doing that and you're not challenging your body and you're not putting the intensity in that you used to, number one, your energy level is obviously going to be down, but number two, you're just not really shocking your body. You wanna make sure you're keeping your body guessing. If you're training different muscle groups, alternate them. Try something new, maybe switch it up. Maybe try a CrossFit class, I don't know. These are things that you can also take a look at, again, before cutting your calories too low. Just change your routine. What I often tell my clients to do is we're gonna take 1 extra day per week and just do 1 15-minute session of HIIT cardio. So this can be rowing, biking, running, swimming, whatever floats your boat. Just do 15 minutes of 30 seconds high intensity to 30 seconds rest, and see if that improves and helps you break through the plateau. Now, for the fun part. So, talking about all these other things that plateaus could be, I often find that when I give these options to my own clients, they come back to me and they're like, yeah, I lost weight. And I was like, yes, super awesome. But if you're not one of those people and you're like, Manders, I've tried all of that, it's not working, I definitely hit a plateau. So it's actually really simple. There's only a couple of things that you can do when you have truly 100% wholeheartedly hit a weight loss plateau. Number one, lower your calories. Now, obviously this is my least favorite of the 4 that I'm going to suggest to you because I want to eat as much food as possible while having to cut. And that is also the importance of reverse diets and spending time in that growing phase, which I'll make a video on that in the future. It's just too much to include in this video. I definitely recommend you guys do some research on some reverse diets. It's really helpful for your metabolism and just being able to eat more and not constantly being in a diet phase. Number 2, again, pretty obvious, increase your activity. So if you don't want to lower your calories, you're gonna have to increase your activity to compensate for that. My second to least favorite, well, least favorite to most favorite when it comes to breaking through plateaus, because obviously the more exercise that you do, the hungrier that you're gonna feel, so you're probably gonna notice that deficit more so than anything, but it's kind of the same if you cut your calories anyway, so it's to each their own, whatever you prefer. Number 3, like I said before, recover and sleep more. If you're neglecting this and you change this, guarantee you it will help with your weight loss. Absolutely, without a doubt. And number 4 is gonna be diet breaks and refeeds. These are 2 tools that I feel are highly, highly underused when it comes to dieting, and they can be really beneficial, especially if you've been in a diet phase for a really, really long period. Refeed days can be really helpful both mentally and physically, and just taking a diet break, I feel helps my clients mentally more so than anything. And then when they come back from the diet break, they're like super motivated and ready to kill it, and then it's just like, definitely recommend that. Those are 2 tools that I personally use with my clients after they've been in a deficit phase for a long period of time, kind of getting burnt out. You don't just need a break. You can totally implement diet breaks, and I feel like they help so much. I guess this is kind of the last thing, because that wasn't really the last thing, but patience. You know when SpongeBob does the thing with the rainbow and he's like, imagination. No, patience.
Imagination.
That is so key, you guys. Patience. You know, I have so many feels about this because I am truly, truly passionate about people creating better relationships with the food that they put in their body and their body as well. And I hope that you guys get that when you watch my videos. I love when I can help people have a better relationship with 1 or 2 of those things. And one of the biggest things that I see, and I posted this on my Instagram the other day, if you guys didn't see this post, definitely go check it out. I was talking about how a lot of people, when they first come to me, their goal and their primary goal is they want to have abs, and they're like, I just want to have abs and look like I lift, and their whole goal and their whole journey becomes about having abs. And you know, obviously we all want to feel good, we all want to look good in our own body and be confident, for sure. You know, I want a bicep vein and I still can't get it, but nonetheless, I think it's so important to kind of shift your mindset when you're on a long-term journey like this. And instead of thinking like, oh, I don't have abs and I wish I had abs, you know, you could wake up in the morning and be like, wow, I have a healthy body and I can go to the gym and I can train legs and arms if that's what you do, or Olympic weightlift or power lift, whatever. The more that I try to implement that with my clients and give them a reason to be happy with their bodies now, instead of I don't have this and I want this, the more that they focused on that, the more progress they made. Like, if you're constantly thinking about how you don't have abs, you're gonna become so obsessed with it that you're not even gonna realize any other progress you're making because you're so hyper-focused on this one thing. If you wake up in the morning and you're like, yes, my body is healthy, I feel good, I can go to the gym, after a while that becomes like your way of life, and before you know it, you look back at yourself and you're like, wow, I look good. I look good. Changing that mindset is so important, and I think partially that is because a lot of fitness Instagrammers or fitness social media people, so that's what I hope to change about this industry. And although, like, yes, I want to feel confident in my body, yes, I want to like the way that I look, but I also want to be strong and I want to be comfortable in my body and be confident in who I am as a person. And you know, I have abs. I've had them for a while. Genetically speaking, I'm very blessed in that sense where I can still bulk and my abs kind of poke out so you see them more. But anyways, I feel like the less I give a shit about whether or not I have abs, the better I actually look. So that's just my personal feelings on it. I hope that maybe that's something you guys can take away from this video, if anything at all, and just focus on what you do have and what you can do with your body instead of what you don't have. I'm telling you, your progress will happen if you're just patient enough. So with that being said, I hope that gives you guys some words of wisdom. And I hope that you guys learned something, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and let me know your comments in the comment section below. I am going to eat, because what else is new? And I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching.